Yeah, because they blitz on every down, and so we just want to make sure that we're preparing all week and doing what we need to do just so we're ready for it. The heavy blitz team, and just making sure that we're extra prepared for it during the week.
And a lot of that is run blitzing as well with Hilton and Williams. What kind of challenge does that present for you? You want to get your thing going with the rushing attack.
Yeah, I think we all have to be in tune um, as an offense on what they're giving us as far as the blitzes and who's blitzing. Those guys do a great job. When they blitz, coming in physical, fast, and being disruptive. So we just got to make sure we're all tuned in as an offense.
Jim.
Derrick, I guess what do you like when you guys go into Wildcat? Just the options, extra options that it gives you. And did you do that in high school or ever do it at Alabama?
Just give us another weapon to use. I'm familiar with it. Did it in high school. We've been using it for 2 years, and it's been effective. So, just give us another weapon to use in the offense, and be able to make plays.
And as far as their defense goes, I mean, every game is physical in the NFL, but is there something kind of next level about the Steelers and the way they play from a physical standpoint?
They've just always been physical. Always have a physical defense. I feel like they always have a good defense. Always has a stout front, physical linebackers, guys that are physical in the back end as well, fast, just all around good defense. They've been playing incredible football on that side of the ball, so it's gonna be a big challenge for us come Sunday.
Buck.
What's up, Derrick? Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys had an incredible offensive performance as a unit, not just you individually last week, but how do you go about building upon the success that you had against the Texans, or since the Steelers are a much different team, does the game plan kind of change?
Yeah, I think we moved past last week. Last week was last week, and we're focused on the challenge that we have now, and we know what type of team we're facing, undefeated, playing good football on both sides. It's a big challenge. So we just focus on preparing the right way, watching film, doing all the things that we need to do, little things to make sure we're prepared on Sunday, and getting ready for Sunday.
Terry?
Derrick, I know you played a lot of big games in college against other teams that are unbeaten, but does your blood get to pumping a little bit when you see another undefeated team coming in and this kind of being a big stage for this franchise and this team?
Don't try to get too overwhelmed. Just prepare like we always have. Like I said, we know what type of team we're facing. They're a good team, playing good football all year, undefeated. We're both undefeated, so it's going to be a good matchup. But not try to get too overwhelmed about all the hype. Just take it day by day until it gets to Sunday.
Aditi?
Hi, Derrick. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin this week called you ridiculous. He said in all his years in football, he has never seen anybody have the combination of size and speed that you do. Does that do anything for you? Does it make you smile? Does it register in any way?
I definitely, appreciate the compliment. He was doing a great job, from the time he's been with our organization, the teams that he's had. I feel like they're always in the playoffs. Always have them well prepared, always have a great defense, explosive guys on offense. I feel like they're always an overall great team, and that goes to credit to him and coaching staff. And I just appreciate the compliment.
How about he compared you to his outside linebacker Bud Dupree? He said you're basically Bud's size but way faster. Is that fair?
That's pretty funny. I don't know if I'm that big. Bud is a big dude, but. Like I said, I'll take the compliment.
Thank you.
John?
Yeah, Derrick. Last week, 5 passes thrown your way, I think was tied for the most ever in your career. And of course, you had the big reception on the overtime drive. How important is that in terms of you, feeling like you're gradually getting better to put up better numbers in the passing game like you did last week?
Yeah, just trying to be available to be able to catch passes and catch them and get upfield, gain yards, and try to make plays any way I can. And that's all I'm trying to do. Opportunities come, just try to take advantage of them.
Thank you.
Eric?
Hey, Derrick. Just curious, when there's a change on the offensive line like there will be with Ty filling in for Taylor, does that require any adjustment for you when you're running the ball, and what's the confidence level in Ty?
No, it doesn't. Definitely going to miss Taylor. Miss his enthusiasm, the energy he brings to this team. Big part of what we do. But Ty's played this year. He's came in before and played well. He's been in camp preparing like the starter, so nothing's going to be different. It's just the next man up, and excited for Ty.
All right, I think that's it. Ran through them all. Appreciate it.
All right, see y'all.
Thanks, Derrick.
Thanks, Derrick.
Thank you, Derrick.
Hey, Kenny, how's it going? I know a couple weeks ago when the whole situation happened with having to postpone this game with the Steelers, I know Eric Ebron went on Twitter and kind of said a couple things. He was frustrated. I didn't know, you guys are friends though, because I know you guys go back and forth. What's the story behind that, and how much juice do you guys have for this game, just considering everything that's led up to this?
I mean, I think we got juice regardless of the situation, just because it's two 5-0 teams going at it, just because not just because it's 5-0, but really just because it's the next game and we're trying to get to 6-0. But yeah, I mean, it was tough. I mean, guys had unexpected bye weeks. A lot of times guys will plan out, whether, they get to go see their families, they get to go back home, whether they have kids. It was a tough turn of events. So that's probably why he was frustrated. I know he said something about, missing some time with his son. So, I mean, I understand. But at the same time, it was kind of the situation that we had to get through, and now the game's here. So,
hey, Kenny, can I get you back up just a hair so we can see you? There we go. Good. Kayla, you good?
Yeah, we good.
Jim?
Hey, Kenny, when you look at you guys after five games, 5-0 is the most important thing. But as a defense, what do you like about what you guys have done so far? And what are some things that have to get better if this team's going to keep getting better?
I think there's a number of things that we need to get better as far as defense goes. I think we need to, get off the field on third down, be better in the run game, better in the pass game. I mean, we have a long way to go, but lucky for us, it's still early. We're 5-0. The most important thing I think is every week we just got to work on improving. I think the best teams improve throughout the year, and they're at their peak, November, December. So, we're working really hard right now just to work out the details, be more efficient on first and second down, and then get off the field on third down.
And you guys have had so many different combinations in there at corner, and what the hope is, I know Adorie's coming back at some point. How much is that going to help you when you finally have your group out there?
Yeah, there's been a lot of different combinations, but those guys, are well equipped, well coached. So the expectation, has to stay the same regardless who's in there. Obviously, hopefully having Adoree back will help us out a lot. We played together the last 3 years or 2 or 3 years. Smart, talented guy, hard worker. So, I mean, it'll be good to get him back. But at the same time, regardless who's in there, we got to make sure that, we're playing the type of defense that we're used to playing.
Buck?
Yeah, Kenny, with the young guys, I mean, I know it's a work in progress each week as you go throughout the season, but what have you liked from guys like Christian Fulton? I know Chris Jackson was down last week, but the progress that they've made so far within your guys' defense.
Yeah, I think those guys are just working hard, trying to get adjusted. At the same time, you got to remember those guys didn't get the OTAs. They didn't get the rookie mini camp. Training camp was a lot different this year. So as a rookie, those are valuable reps. I can remember back to my rookie year, growing and learning so much during that time on the field that they didn't get. So at the same time, you got to be, we got to be patient with those guys. But it's nearing the middle of the season, so those guys got to become veterans real quick. And I think they're doing a great job. Just trying to get better every day.
Teron?
Kenny, you've seen a few coaching staffs yourself. Being with this group, is it unique, like how much they focus on situational aspects? And then when you see Vrabel do what he did this past Sunday with the penalty and stopping the clock, is that something unique as far as your time in the league?
Well, obviously I was with the Saints too, and then I remember Coach Payton used to always, preach about being great in those critical situations. I think the good teams do that. Obviously the Saints have had a lot of success, and then as you saw with Vrabel, the quick thinking, the coaching staff coming together and kind of having a plan there to save us some time on the clock was huge. And I mean, it's uplifting for us as a player because, we're not trying to think about that. We're trying to do our job. But, the coaches, that's what they focus on. How are we going to put the team in the best position possible to win the game? And obviously that came up huge for us. So, that's what Vrabel preaches. That's part of his job. He tells us to do our job. That's one thing that he brings to the table is that situational awareness and being on top of it.
Appreciate it.
John?
Hey, Kenny. Couple questions for you. One, on those third downs, you mentioned, I'm sure all of them are frustrating, but
yeah,
it seems like there's been a few like third and longs this year. Is that a source of particular, something that you need to correct? I'm sure that gets frustrating out there.
Yeah, obviously. Anytime you do a good enough job on first and second down and put a team in third and long, you should be getting off the field. The percentages go, down dramatically for the offense, and we haven't executed like we need to. But we're going to get it fixed. Nobody, it's kind of demoralizing when it's a third and 11 plus and they get the first down, and that happens sometimes. But you can't let it happen all the time. So, that's a big focus for us is just getting off the field, letting our offense get back on the field, let our punt return game get going, and, we'll get it worked out.
Sure. And then the other one, I'm sure you guys obviously expected a change when going from Dean Pease to Shane Bowen as a play caller. What has that transition been like? Has it been about, what you expected or a lot of difference? What are your thoughts?
It's been smooth. Obviously, we're not doing too much. It hasn't changed a whole lot. Obviously Dean's a great coach, but that was last year. Shane's doing a great job of, making calls to put us in position to be successful. And ultimately, I think it's on us players, to execute the call and get it done. I don't think it has, whatever call comes in, it's on us to make sure that we execute and get off the field. I don't see any difference.
Thank you.
Terry?
Kenny, this team has been, I guess, under the radar for a long time, at least until the playoffs last year. Now with the 5-0 start, starting to get a lot of attention beyond just Nashville and Middle Tennessee. How does that change anything or the perspective, knowing that, I guess you're not going to sneak up on people, for lack of a better term?
For us guys in this locker room, we just try not to pay attention to that stuff because as soon as you lose a game or you have a bad game, the narrative will flip immediately, So you see it all the time with teams. They'll have a hot start, then all of a sudden they start dropping a couple games, and then you stink again. So I think the best thing we can do is stay level-headed, focus on the next game, focus on getting to 6-0, and not really worry about any type of hype or anything coming from outside the building because the faster you get that hype, you can lose it just as quick. So we just focus on, coming to work each and every day and focusing on the task at hand. We don't really worry about anything outside the building.
Chris Harris?
Hey, Kenny, I asked Mike Vrabel this question. Since you guys have been so outspoken about registering to vote and executing your constitutional right and stuff, with the debates being in town tonight, will you watch and have you watched any of the debates so far?
Yeah, I watched I guess it was 2 debates ago, which it was kind of crazy. It was pretty entertaining. And I think they canceled the last one if I'm not correct. But yeah, I'll definitely watch. I know the traffic's going to be crazy. My friend texted me and was like, "Hey man, I hope you know the debates at the Belmont." So yeah, I'll definitely watch. They're interesting. I haven't paid as close attention as I should have through the years, and it's been pretty fun watching and learning and watching the debates.
What do you get out of that?
As far as, I mean, for me, just getting to actually know the presidential candidates, and understanding, you know, what their views on certain policies and just everything, really. Because like I said, in years past, I haven't paid as close attention as I have this year. So it's been exciting just to sit there with, you know, my fiance, and we just watch it.
Last one, Luke.
Kenny, you all had Dean obviously for 2 years as a play caller. Now you have Coach Bowen in there. How are you all connecting with him so far? Is it still a growing process of getting on the same page?
I mean, I think it's going well. I mean, obviously we haven't had the start we wanted to on defense, but you know, the same things we were preaching last year, we're preaching this year as far as our effort and finish, our details, and our ball disruption and our penalties. So the core values haven't changed. But yeah, I mean, even with Dean, I mean, when he first got there, it was, you know, we kind of got a feel for how he calls the game and what the coaches are looking for in a certain play and how we want to play certain techniques. So, I mean, obviously every week you're looking to improve. So I wouldn't say it's a growing process. I think it's just something that happens naturally anytime you're working with different people.
You all in the secondary, ever since you got here, have had, for lack of a better term, a lot of swagger, a lot of energy, you know, the MMCNB shirts and all of that stuff. Is that still there now?
I mean, the MMCNB thing was kind of a thing that, you know, Coach Coombs had brought in last year. Yeah, we still got the same demeanor. It's still the same type of feel. Obviously, this year's been crazy with, you know, obviously COVID and, you know, the things we went through. But at the same time, the standard has not wavered at all. It's still there. I mean, and we're looking to show it on Sunday.
Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kenny.
I'll just call out reporters' names and they'll ask their questions. So, Jim, you want to get started?
Hey, Tom, appreciate your time. You've played football for a long time. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like this before where a guy goes out and it opens the door for you. But what is that like? A buddy of yours has gone down, been lost for the season. You feel bad for him, but it's also an opportunity for you to step in and kind of be the guy at left tackle. What is that process like for you?
Yeah, unfortunately, injuries are a part of football. We all know that. You know, doing this for a long time, like you're saying, every year stuff happens that's out of our control. Obviously, unfortunate losing Taylor. He's been a great teammate, great leader, and he's a great player. So obviously that's a bummer. But, you know, next guy's up when the next guy's up, and that's kind of how it's always been with football.
And why was this a good place for you when you came here? I mean, as far as the way this team plays, the style, and what you want to do as an offensive line, and do you feel like it's been a good fit for you?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a great fit. Great room. The offensive line room here is great people, great players, and they do a great job of bringing the new guys along, me included. So I've felt like family since I've gotten here, and we all work hard and do the right things. So it's been a great group to be a part of.
Eric?
Hey, Ty, just curious how important it is for you to mesh with Roger Saffold, and where is that right now? And are you able to sort of get caught up to speed with him, just get on the same page with him in a week's time?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Roger in person, but he's kind of a large human. So it's fun playing next to someone like Roger who can do the things he can do. And I feel like we've meshed pretty well throughout, the camp and the season. We've gotten reps together sporadically with my role as swing tackle. So now it's just getting a little more consistency with our reps, but we've definitely meshed.
Teron?
Yeah, Ty, if you go back to last season, preseason that is, against the Steelers, this team struggled a bit with TE stunts. From your perspective, what's the key to being able to get on the same page with your guard and be able to handle those stunts effectively?
I think we just have to trust our technique and just make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect ourselves from games. Everybody runs them. Every team has them. So every week it's nothing new to us that teams are going to try to game you. And this is no exception.
And what stands?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. And what stands out to you about this front, specifically their guys on the edge, Watt and Dupree?
Yeah, they play hard. They got great motors. They have a nose for the ball, so they will continue to work throughout extended plays, and they, continue to work into the third and fourth moves. So they have a good motor, and I think we do too. So it'll be a good matchup.
Buck?
Yeah, Ty, I know you've played a lot of tackle, obviously, in your career, but with Dennis Kelly, he was previously the swing tackle here. Do you talk to Dennis at all about, what that's like coming into the year? And I guess what would those conversations look like?
In terms of being a swing tackle, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was playing this role for a little bit in Atlanta as well before I came here, so I kind of knew what it entailed. Obviously, Dennis has an inside-out knowledge of this scheme and this team, so he had some tidbits for me to kind of add to my tool belt once I got here. But like I said, the entire O-line room has been incredible in terms of welcoming the young guys and new guys, so it's been great.
And then going back to the game on Sunday, tough position for you to be dropped into. The strip sack happens, but then after that, you really seem to settle down and positively contribute. What kind of how was it to kind of work yourself through that, or did it just take go on to the next play?
Yeah, I think obviously I'd love to have that play back. It was unfortunate how it ended up, but the second it happened, I knew that it was something that I could correct, and I could feel the technique issue that I did. So it was nothing to freak out about or be worried about. It's just something I need to correct in the moment. And playing a lot of ball and being surrounded by the guys I'm surrounded by, it's easy to kind of move on to the next play and just put your best moving forward. You can't change what happened.
Terry?
Ty, obviously you're stepping in for a guy who's a Pro Bowl talent in Taylor. What is that like to try and step into to big shoes like that? And how do you just try to be yourself and not try to be, Taylor in that situation?
Yeah, I think we all have unique ability and skill sets that got us to this level. Every guy has something that they probably do a little better than the other guy and something they do a little worse. So we all kind of have things we excel at and things we're constantly working on. So from that perspective, it's not necessarily anything to do with Taylor. Obviously unfortunate that he went down, but it's just kind of about continuing to work on my technique and my craft.
John?
Yeah, Ty, I know you played both tackles before in your career, but I think, before this year, or maybe last couple of years, it's been more on the right side. What was it like, getting used to getting back to playing the left on Sunday and maybe going forward? Is that a significant thing to do when you haven't played much of that position recently?
I had played a lot of left coming out of college, so left was more comfortable than right, and it took a couple years to get equally comfortable at right during my time in the league. So now I feel balanced to the point where I don't necessarily have a preference and or anxiety about playing either side. So it's nice that I've worked my way to this point of being comfortable doing both.
Gotcha. And I know you talked about everybody kind of having a different skill set as well. And what do you feel like when you're on top of your game? What do you feel like you do particularly well?
I play very hard. That's one thing that, regardless, I will hang my hat on, is that I play every snap to the whistle, and I always try to keep myself in between my man and the ball. So that's something that I always like to hang my hat on.
Thanks.
Last one, Chris.
Hey, Ty, now that you've gotten to do it for a little bit, what's it like blocking for a guy like Derrick Henry?
It's great. He's, obviously, you guys know, he's an incredible back. He's incredibly deceptive with his size and speed. And it's fun to watch him get in open space and work. So we're all just kind of motivated to get our hats on hats and get him running free where he does what he does. So it's been a lot of fun to block for him.
All right, that's a wrap. Ran through them all. Appreciate your time.
Perfect. Have a good one.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Ty.
Ty.